Your intro's got. I'm sorry to interrupt, man. Your intro's got like goosebumps on my arms. So,
isn't it amazing?
It's amazing. So just well done. Sorry to jump right in, but like, where's a wall that I can run through right now?
Well, Ali, you have those are very expensive walls where you're at. Don't run through those walls. Run through somebody else's walls. All right, everybody, brought to you by Little Caesars. 50% off any online order. Code SAVE15. Code LCFREECC. Free crazy combo with a pizza purchase. All right, now joined by the great Ali Farhang. I am merely Mike Luke. Hello, Ali. How you doing, my man?
Hey, Michael. How you doing, my man?
Not too bad. Cody, can you please take that off the screen? Thank you. Okay, so Ali, first and foremost, Final Four. I've got to give you a lot of credit because you have basically been the ace prognosticator on everything in the last, I would say, 8 months. Keep in mind, the great Ali came on this very show before football season and correctly predicted 9 wins going into a bowl game. Ali, you also bought your Final Four tickets before the season started. Is it this easy to be Ali Farhang?
Buddy, I'm not always right, but I get to talk to people, and I just get to sometimes a broken clock is right twice a day. I felt great about the football season and what Brent Brennan and his staff have done to change the culture of the program in the offseason. And so I was right on 9 wins.
Right.
I wish I was wrong and it was 10 wins, but it was a great season. And, anytime I've talked to Tommy Lloyd about anything, we don't talk about basketball, really, life, family. And when Tommy's like, dude, I think we're going to be really good this year. On August 18th of 2025, I made my hotel reservation in Indianapolis.
All right. I got to say this about Tommy. If Tommy says something, listen to him in a variety of different ways. The first thing I'm going to say, by the way, Ali, everybody, and Cody, if you could run the comments, that'd be very appreciated. People are asking you what the lotto numbers are, Ali. So, if you could run those, Cody, that'd be great. Okay. Now, I'm going to say this. Tommy Lloyd, when he took over, I remember it was one of his first press conferences before the season was going to start, his very first year. And they asked him about the NCAA tournament or what kind of team is this? And he says, I think we're going to be pretty good. And then I can't remember who it was. It might have been Bruce, might not have been Bruce. And he said, well, how do you know? And he's like, I've been around good teams. I know what they look like. And then the next question was, what are you looking for Christian Koloko? Keep in mind, Christian Koloko, up to this point, was basically would come in, foul a couple people, and then go right back out of the game. That was his first couple years here. He said, I believe he can be the defensive player of the year in the conference. He's got that type of potential. Boom, 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 boom. And when he talks about big men, he's always right. If Tommy says something, listen to him. He knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, and, since the day he got here and I met him and we've had, numerous dinners, conversations, he's never said anything like that. So when he said that, I'm like, you know what? Based on who we got coming in and who we got coming back, I think we could be really good. So let's do this. And that hotel room I booked in August, I will be staying at starting Friday.
All right, Ali. Now, rub it in our faces a little bit more. How much did you get that hotel room for?
A lot less than it was going for now.
I was going to say, you could probably sell that back for about 20 times your ROI on that one, my friend.
And lotto numbers, let's try 32, 32, and 36. And if 4 of those hit, then I need to go to Vegas.
Yeah, well, at that point, you're just Rain Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, counting cards in Las Vegas. 246 toothpicks. Okay, all right. Now, Tommy, we're going to talk about Tommy Lloyd, then we're going to talk about Arizona basketball. I want to turn this into also a Tommy Lloyd appreciation situation for what this man has brought to the city. The thing that I think a lot of people don't like when Tommy Lloyd came in here, and I always say this, Sean did a ton of great stuff here. And I'll always say this, and I've said it a million times, but if I say something right, I'm going to say it again. He made Arizona a 2-coach school. That to me is, you can never, and I know Fred Snowden did great things, and I'm talking in the modern era. He did he made Arizona a 2-coach school. So if a coach is looking at Georgetown now, or they're looking at UNLV, they're like, well, is that really a good job, or was that just a really good coach? Sean Miller eliminated all of that because you could look at it and say, you look at Lute Olson, and then it was Sean Miller, then it was Tommy Lloyd. Tommy Lloyd knew firsthand what Arizona was, and he came in and he has embraced the culture. He has embraced the personality. That is before we even get to anything on the court, he is literally a perfect fit for what Arizona wants to do.
100%, man. I mean, I would actually go bigger than that. He's a perfect fit for our community. He has totally embraced Tucson, what Tucson's all about. And, you know, it's rare these days to find a person that is genuine and makes genuine relationships, and it's not transactional. And when you're talking to them, they're not talking through you.
Right.
Right. And I don't care what walk of life you are, what you do. If you come up and you start talking to Tommy Lloyd, you've got his undivided attention, and he's actually having a conversation with you. So, you know, he is the leader of our basketball program. He is the face of our athletic department. But what I'm telling you is it's bigger than that. He's the face of our university.
You know, Rick Neuheisel was on a podcast. I don't know if it's his or not, but he made a really good point. By the way, it's called the Bob Dobbs theory from Mr. Tyler Warden. He's just a dude that you could see at Bob Dobbs. There's not a lot of guys like that. You know, Tommy Lloyd. Rick Neuheisel, I thought, made a really interesting point. He said, we're in the year 2026 now. He says, this isn't 1986. He says, the most powerful person from an athletic perspective on any campus is the person that brings in the most eyeballs. That's Tommy Lloyd. Just like at Duke. Say what you want. I have no clue what's going on. John Shire. Everything comes and goes through John Shire. Same at any other school that has that kind of basketball. And I also think what's great about Tommy, and you kind of hit on this as well, is that he's been a sounding board for other people as well. I mean, he's a guy that it seems, and I didn't know this part, he's a guy that, you know, other coaches can come into and say, hey, you know, you got a minute, I got to talk to you about something. And that's a very unique thing that he does not need to do, but it also shows you how much this community does mean to him. Yeah, no, I mean, he is the go-to person for other coaches in that department. For whatever the question may be. And his door is always open. So, you know, and the great thing is, I mean, this transcends sports, but, you know, you look at TCU being in the national championship game 3 years ago and the enrollment at TCU. You look at what happened at Alabama with Nick Saban's success. You look at schools like Ole Miss after being in the college football playoff last year and how many people enrolled in Ole Miss. These things being on a national platform, on a national stage, they matter. And it goes beyond just athletics. And the great thing I think about our head coach, Tommy Lloyd, is, you know, you got somebody that wants to come in and you're trying to sell them on making a grant or a donation to the aeronautics department or some other aspect of academia. Right. You can bring Tommy Lloyd in that meeting and he will help sell whatever needs to be sold for the best of the university. And that's, you know, he's the guy. He is the guy that embodies Arizona and Tucson as a community. And I give him a lot of credit. From the day he stepped off the plane from Spokane, Washington to Tucson, his number one goal was getting to know this community. And now he's embedded and woven in the fabric of our community. This is a rare thing for a university. I've got to give, I got to give a story that really, I think, kind of encapsulates Tommy, and it's going to be bringing in I'll be talking about it's with our good pal, Bruce Pascoe. By the way, real quick, Ali, you have argued cases before the Ninth Circuit. You have argued cases before a lot. That's the correct term, right? The Ninth Circuit or the Ninth Court? Ninth Circuit, you did it. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm dumb, so I'm generally used to being wrong. Okay, Ali, our good pal Kobe L. Thiel in the comments is going to the game with his buddies. Here is the problem, though, is that he said he can't come hang out with us on Friday night because he's thinking about going to a 21 Pilots concert in Indianapolis. I told Kobe this, and you're much smarter than me. I said, Kobe, you can always go to a 21 Pilots concert. This is the biggest Arizona basketball game in the last 25 years. You should definitely prioritize yourself. Ali, you're much smarter than me. Please make the case. Thank you. Well, I'm just going to echo what Tommy said in his press conference yesterday. You know, it's an event for the fans, and you go there and have fun. For us, this is a business trip, and we have a job to do, and we have one objective in mind. That's hoisting that trophy on Monday night. Right. And what I would say for Arizona fans is, you know, you can go to a concert anytime. Right. This is for us. This is a chance for us to be together, to celebrate together, and appreciate and celebrate our great
special basketball team. So if you're going to do anything else, I would try to dissuade you from doing it and be with us.
Be with us.
Let's be together, man. Let's be engaged.
Yeah, be with us. I didn't even know 21 Pilots is still a thing. What was I thought it was back in my like Pima Community College days. Well, Kobe, just come hang out with us. That's all. All right. Now, I am also going to tell you a story about as well. All right, listen to this. Brayden 777 says free 21 free 21 Pilot concerts or hang out with Mike Luke. Back the Luke. Yeah. Appreciate that, man. I will take that one. Back to Mike Luke. All right, so let me ask you this. I want to tell you a story, Ali, and I've told this to the folks in the chat that are still hanging around here. Love you guys. Thank you for putting up with me. I got the best. I've always thought this is the best story of Tommy Lloyd, is that our good pal Bruce Pascoe, who we expect to be at this event. Bruce is the man. Bruce is different. I'm different. Bruce is different as well. I think that's why I like him so much. Bruce went up to Tommy and Tommy, when he's going to an AAU event or whatever, is watching players. And Bruce went up to him and basically told him, hey, I'm going to be going on vacation for like 3 weeks or something. Can I get this interview in with you? And Tommy was like, all right, well, give me about an hour, Bruce. And then so Bruce basically just starts asking questions right there. And then so that hour that's going to be in an hour happens right there. And Tommy is multitasking. He's listening to Bruce. He's answering his questions. He has to go to the hotel. Bruce follows him to the hotel. Then he comes back and he watches games. There's not many coaches in America that would do that. I don't know how else to put it. There's not many other coaches that would do that, Ali.
No, I mean, how many other basketball coaches in college basketball go stand up before the Arizona legislature,
right,
and give what I thought was an excellent speech, right, about the importance of sports in Arizona. So, I mean, look, he's just he's the face of athletics. He's the face of the university, and whatever impediment there may be out there that would compel him to think about going someplace else.
Right.
President Garamella needs to take decisive leadership and remove that impediment.
Right. Yeah, for sure. All right. So now let's get into a little bit about Tommy on the court, what we're going to be looking at. But yes, 21 Pilots is absolutely going to be played at the Pima County Fair. You can go see that at any time, man. They're going to be opening up for Bone Thugs and Harmony. Guarantee it. It'll happen at some point there. That's a 90s reference for you guys.
I think I saw them. I went to opening day at Wrigley Field one year, and I think they were like the opening act.
Right. Oh, were they really?
Yeah. They were good. All right. They're all right. It was good.
All right. So, all right, let's get into a couple reads, and then we're going to talk about on the game. By the way, everybody in there, ignore Rage. He's literally been wrong on everything. He's picked against Arizona all year. He still owes me $1,000. I like Rage, but his information always sucks. Don't listen to Rage.
Please keep picking against Arizona, Rage.
Rage, just keep doing what you're doing, man.
You're perfect.
It's gotten us this far. All right, now back the Alchemy, official sports sponsor of Arizona Athletics, insurance and financial solutions for Wildcat Nation. Bear down, insurance, everything.com. Business insurance, personal insurance, benefits, life, wealth management. As you can see, they also did some very, very cool stuff for the Zona Zoo. Going to be having a lot of people coming in there again from the zoo. Wilbur's Big Burner, I believe, some of his family, and there's going to be a lot of different things as well. Check it out. Again, Alchemy, though, the great thing about these guys are in the community. They're going to be there. You're going to be able to see all of them. They're going to be at the Final Four. Check it out. Alchemy, though, the official sports sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Again, McHale Center at Alchemy Arena. Okay.
Very cool what they did for the students.
Oh, that was fantastic. That was literally one of the coolest things. Yeah, for sure. Also, real quick, Kobe, it is your choice. You're a grown man. You don't have to go where somebody else tells you to. Thank you. Bye. Okay. Now, all right. Now, what else we got, Cody? Come on. Casino del Sol, the Sol. All right, guys, I got to give you guys all a ton of credit. We had over 120 people at the last watch party. It was fantastic. We're going to have another one probably after the season as well. I don't know if it'll be a watch party, but it'll be a get-together. Casino del Sol, the Sol of Tucson. Great time. Like I said, bet on sports. Ollie, do you golf? Are you a good golfer, Ollie? I bet you're a good golfer.
I'm okay. Yeah, I do enjoy playing golf, yeah.
I was going to say, do you break 80 consistently, I'd assume?
No, I do not. I definitely do not. But I am really fun to golf with.
I would love to golf with you,
Yeah.
Ollie. We should do it. Yeah.
I don't care about the golf it's about the companionship more than the golf, but
yeah. I mean, listen, here's what I'm going to tell people. I had somebody I was golfing with at Del Yurk the other day. And by the way, go to Sawilo. That's why I was asking about that. And
great
course. And he was telling me, he's like, well, I was thinking about going professional and, I just don't have the time to get my tour card and all of that stuff. And the first ball he hits is it's at Del Yurk. Literally the one that he hits is way off into the right into the other fairway. And he ended up with let's see, I'm trying to think. It's a par 4. I think he ended up with like an 8. And then he tries to tell me, he's like, oh, don't worry. I'm a lot better than that. Yeah, so am I. I had a double bogey. So take that. Nice try. Either way, check it out. I have no clue what that has to do with Del Sol. Go there, though. Sawilo, it's awesome. Boom. All right. Now, everybody stop I was going to say no April Fool's stuff. I don't like April Fool's stuff. I never have. Now, Ollie, you're a healthy guy. You ever go to Baggins?
Oh, yeah. And I backed the AZ12 too, buddy. That discount's awesome.
Yes. Yeah. Cause
Albuquerque turkey may be one of my favorite sandwiches in the world.
Oh, it's fantastic. It's very, very good. And every sandwich comes with a chocolate chip cookie. All food made in-house daily, locally owned and operated. 12 Arizona locations. Go in there. Join the VIP Text Club. Free delivery with code FREERIDE. We need some real times. Check it out. Boom. All right. Now, let's talk about the game, though. This is you know what this reminds me of a little bit, Ollie? This reminds me a little bit, not to date all of the, some of the younger kids, but this reminds me a little bit of 01, where it was just how do I put this? Arizona and Duke were the two best teams in the country. And you didn't know if they were going to end up in the bracket. Arizona was an up and down season with Bobby and everything, obviously. But when you got to the tournament, you knew that those were the two best teams. Now, granted, we were privileged that I was able to get into our championship game. I think the two best teams in the nation are meeting in the Final Four today, Ollie. What are your initial thoughts?
I mean, I think this is a collision course that's been meant to be since the beginning of the season. Michigan's very good. They match up, the kind of like the dueling Spider-Man meme in a lot of ways. Teams are very similar. Good big guys. They got a 6-year guy. I keep wanting to call him Wexel Luxembourg, but it's
just call him Yaxelberg. That's all I do. I call him Yaxelberg.
Yeah. But Lindenborg is good. Mara, the transfer from UCLA, has been playing good in the middle. And their guard Cadell, he's been pretty good too. But I think, people have been asking me, are you nervous about this game? And inexplicably, because I'm insane when it comes to superstitions and stuff, I am feeling really confident about Arizona going into this game. And I've got, a full resume of a season as why I'm confident. You said 2001. I'm going to say 97. There's something special about this year and this team that to me feels a lot like 97.
Yeah, I was just referring to that these were the two best teams in the country. I agree with you. Like where you just get to that point and it's just like, all right, these are the two best teams. Let's get it on. And let's talk about it first in the backcourt. I want to talk about this. There are two guys in the chat, the sisters, Joseph and Marcus Delgado. We love them. They're great, but they're wrong on everything. And they told me before the year, they were all, as the kids would say, crashing out. They're like, Tommy Lloyd, why didn't he go after Elijah Arenas instead? He would have been much, much better, this or that. And this is not a slight at all to Elijah Arenas. I think he's going to be a great player one day. I really do. And you wish him nothing but the best. Brayden Burries I can make the case now that Brayden Burries is the best freshman shooting guard to come through here. It's probably him or Jared Bayless, but Burries has been amazing. And more so than anything, Ollie, he has been a perfect fit for what Tommy Lloyd wants to do. I loved Caleb Love. He's one of my favorite players here. But with Caleb, I also have eyes. Well, actually I have 4 of them. But with Caleb, you also knew though that this could be a 2 for 17 game, or this could be a 40-point game. That's just kind of what it is. With Burries, I kind of know what I'm getting every single game. It might not be quite the highs, but the ceiling, the floor is much higher. How about that?
Yeah, he's solid. And, when it comes to recruiting, at this point, can we just all agree in Tommy we trust?
Tit. Tommy, trust in Tommy. That's what we call it, Tit.
Yeah, it's not just the skill on the court, but it's the character off the court. and being able to mold alphas that grew up being the guy
right
on their AAU team or their high school team into a cohesive team that celebrates we over me. That is really difficult to do. And it's pretty much happened it's happened every single year here. So there's a recipe for Tommy. And like he says, like, we double down on what we do well. And what they do well is they bring in guys and make them a cohesive, integrated team that is selfless, plays together, and celebrates the other guy doing well as much as their own accomplishments. I'll say one more thing that's great about this team. And maybe, we haven't had this maybe. I mean, like, if Caleb didn't have a good game last year, like, we were going to be in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
We got 8 guys, and it could be any one of these 8 guys. You stop this guy, it's another guy. If you stop those 2 guys, it's a third guy. I think Ivan Karchenkov even mentioned it after the Purdue game.
Kalishnikov, as Dusty May called him.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's when I say special, there's just so many aspects to what I mean by special. It's these guys, how they get together, how they play together, how they interact off the court, how they're coached. It's just, I just hope we can take a minute, whatever happens from here on out, and just appreciate just what a beautiful team this has been.
And Tommy is always playing chess, not checkers. I got to give him what was it? T-Burns 826 made a really, yeah. Remember this? Oh, I remember this very well. Remember when Tommy couldn't recruit because Nemhard went somewhere else and we turned it into Bradley and Love? Good times. The guy knows. And Muehlbach, another guy that just struggles through life. I always wonder how Matt just gets up in the morning. Man, it must be difficult to be that good.
Yeah. Matt's doing okay.
Yeah, but yeah, he's like this guy. He's like, people think that he's just like with recruiting or anything like that, that he's just kind of going through the motions. Oh, maybe I'll catch a butterfly today. Maybe I won't. He's like, this guy always has a plan. He has a backup plan. He has a plan after that. Look at the thing with Carter last year. And people were beating the crap out of Tommy for this, and it was completely unfair. And I said it at the time, is that with Carter, they were not going to run Carter off. That is how you burn relationships. That is how Deshaun is a great dude. They have a great relationship. And guess what? Tommy's going to be recruiting Southern California again in the future. This won't be his last recruit. So their option is they're basically take as long as you need. If you want that roster spot, we've got it. We've got the NIL agreed to. If you go after the pros, we wish you nothing but the best, and we'll give you the best recommendation possible. That's what happened. Guess what? They had Ivan Karchenkov ready to go immediately after that. That is not something that you just luck into, Ali. They always have a plan. Always have a plan. And, it's not just Tommy. I mean, it's Jack Murphy. It's TJ Benson. Those guys are tireless. You know how many times Jack Murphy does like 2 or 3 day trips to like Europe or some cold soup countries? Yeah. During the season. Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's these guys, Brayden, Coach Kenny, their strength and conditioning coach, Chris Rounds, Emoy, J-Rock, the trainer. The coolest thing, like, if you guys want, like, just a microcosm, it's just a point in time of how cool this team is, this program is. It was Emoy that was putting up the Arizona sticker on the bracket from the Sweet 16 to the Elite 8. You know who it was for going to the Final Four? It was Justin Kokoski, who's been here since 2002 and never was able to get over the hump, never got into a Final Four. Toby Owaka grabbed him and was like, you're up there, you do it. Dude, it wasn't Koa Peat. It wasn't Jaden Bradley. It wasn't Burries. That's freaking cool, man. That's when you know you have a great culture in your program. That's when you know that you have a lot of guys that are, for lack of a better term, in this together. And that's exactly what the case may be. Also, real quick, you made the assistant. I believe this is as good as an assistant staff as I've seen here. Now, again, there's been some other really good ones. You obviously, when you had Roz, you had Rodney Tension, Jay John, all of those guys. What I love about this staff, though, is everybody has something that is vital to the program. There's not one person that's. I'm gonna have fun with my guy KO for a second here. By the way, KO didn't let his assistant coaches talk to anybody. He was crazy. And I've told KO this before, and I think that he would probably agree with that. Tommy empowers these guys. And I'm just saying, from TJ Benson, you're going to be responsible for recruiting Arizona. You've done a pretty darn good job of it. Other things. Murph going to be international, dip into Southern California. Brandon, you're going to be you're going to be national as well. Everybody is pulling their weight here, and it just makes things, I think, so much easier for someone like Tommy.
I think so, man. And I appreciate the sincerity in which he honors the foundation that was laid for him before he got here so that he can have the success that we're having right now. And, Lute Olson, Sean Miller. I mean, two things can be true. I'm a big fan of Sean Miller, the human being. His son worked for me in my law firm. He went to my law school. I love his family.
Wait a second. You have a law school?
No, the law school I went to. No, I don't.
I was going to say, what the heck? All these out here churning out law students as well. Okay, I got you. Okay.
Ollie Law School, Ollie Steaks, Ollie Water. No, I don't do any of that.
Man, that's another title I haven't put on your resume.
Yeah. And Tommy, he's got a great family. They're embedded in Tucson. And, I love Sean. I love Tommy. They coach differently. Sean was more like kind of one voice at practice. Tommy delegates a lot to his other coaches. They do a lot of work. They collaborate maybe a little bit more than the prior staff. But, I love them both. And I'm just happy Tommy Lloyd's at Arizona. He was the perfect fit. And I even sent a text to my friend, Dave Hickey. I just said, I hope you can enjoy this and take pride because, Tommy Lloyd is here for a big reason of that is because of you. And I just wanted to say thank you, Dave.
I talked with Dave yesterday, by the way, and I am trying to get Dave to come out to Indianapolis. Now, Dave, as you know better than anybody, Ali, you're mover and shaker behind the scene. Dave's a very humble guy. Dave was the dude that would take a lot of arrows, wouldn't say anything, just a good dude all the way around. I hope Dave comes because if Dave comes, we're going to be getting Dave Hickey drinks at this event. Dave, I told Dave, you will not have to pay for anything when he's there. And it was kind of a funny response. He's like, well, I can afford it, Mike. Don't worry. Trust me, I get it. But yes, I'll keep you updated. We're trying to get Dave in there. All right. Now, Zona Germany, $5. Hey, what kind of currency is this? Is this German currency?
That's pounds, I believe.
All right. Well, I appreciate it. Average cost of a beer in Berlin for your trip, Mike Prost. Yeah. Hey, I'm going to be in Germany this summer, by the way. I'm very excited. Okay. Now, very much appreciate you. Now, will Ali be at the AZ12 meetup? Duh. Ali's going to be the main speaker, him and Bruce. Yes, this isn't just an AZ12 thing. This is all Tucson media thing. Everybody is welcome. It's going to be a blast. Justin, Ali, obviously they run the radio. You got me and Sheer. We're going to get Bruce there. Bruce might not even know he's going yet, but Bruce will absolutely be there. I will stalk Bruce if that's what it takes. I mean, heck, I do that anyway, so I'm doing it for free. But yes, come check. Yeah. And Ali, I got to give you a lot of credit on picking the bar. There's a nice little, and it's got a great name for it.
Yeah, I picked another one, and I'm like, oh, Tommy. Oh, okay, this one we need to go, right?
Right. Yes.
And it's going to be, let's Sheer and Luke and Spears and Ali in the same place at the same time, and then let's expand it beyond that. Muehlbach, Brian Jeffries, Bruce Pascoe. Let's go, man. It's let's celebrate together and get ready for a great game.
It's going to be a blast. So we look forward to seeing you all there. Now, I want to talk Jaden Bradley here for a second. You and I, what's funny in this day and era of college basketball? When you and I grew up, you're a little older than me. I'm not gonna, but I'm catching up to y'all. Well, I'm not catching up to you, but unless I don't think maybe I am. I don't know. All right, But when we were growing up there, we saw dynamic point guards, and even if they weren't dynamic, they filled up box scores, and it was just easy. Nobody doubted anything. You look at Damon Stoudemire. I've always said that I think that I have no clue why his jersey isn't hanging out there. I believe he's one of the 3 or 4 most impactful players here because he made point guard use sexy. He was the one that kids wanted to be like. His jerseys and clockers. He's kind of your West Coast Allen Iverson. And then you go from him. Obviously, Reggie was in there. Reggie, just a stalwart, obviously. Then you get to Mike Bibby. Then you get to Jason Terry. Then you get to Jason Gardner. These were guys that you didn't even have to watch their game. You could just look at the box score the next day and be like, oh, he's good. He had 28 points and 12 assists. Jaden Bradley makes more of a fine-tooth comb to be able to really watch and see what he is doing there. And I am so happy, and I have so much respect for the Big 12 coaches for getting this one right. It would have been very easy to just say, well, AJ's the first pick. He averages 25 a game, whatever the case may be. They got it right. They got the best winner and the best leader in the conference, and I think Tommy Lloyd put that very well as well.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Jaden Bradley is the best leader in college basketball. Period. End of story. And he's clutch.
Yeah.
End of game. If I know Jaden Bradley's got the ball in his hands, for so many years, Arizona being a fan of basketball, it's like, who's going to take that last shot? And are they going to get a last shot? And what kind of play are they running? All that stuff. The amount of confidence as a fan that I have with Jaden Bradley having the ball in his hands is
immense.
I mean, I can't think of being more confident ever.
And what's fascinating about this too is going into the year, I think a lot of people were saying, well, who's going to be that guy with the last second shot? They got a couple of them now. You got Jaden Bradley and you got Brayden Burries on the perimeter. They both have come up with monster shots. That Jaden, obviously, we don't even need to rehash it because there's been so many. That Utah State shot though by Brayden though, the 3-pointer at the top. That one basically put the game away as well. You've got two killers in the backcourt, even if they're really, really nice people.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's like, pick your poison. That's kind of like the theme this year is, the poison's coming for you. So whatever you think you're going to do to us as a team, you're picking a poison, and that poison is lethal. And it could be Del Orso, it can be Karchenkov, it can be Big Mo, Tobe, it can be Burries. I keep going, Koa. And I want to go back to one thing that we talked about with Tommy Lloyd and recruiting and the immense amount of trust we have that he knows what he's doing is, you and Sheer, you guys, I mean, I get to know some of these families in some ways. You guys get to know them a little bit better than me. The character of the families of these young men is superlative.
It's such a great point, and I want to go back to the Burries thing for a second. And again, this is not me bashing on Gil because I firmly believe when people ask me who are the two most talented players, I never saw Sean. It was before my time. But whenever I think of the two most talented players I ever saw here, I always think of Mike Bibby and I think of Gilbert Arenas. That's the type of skill level. But Tommy, I think, and this is just me speaking, I think Tommy learned a little bit after, everything with Boswell, some of the other players that you got to really dive in. And Boswell, to his credit, has certainly seemed to have matured and salute. He was young, but I think that was a little bit of a learning experience for Tommy as well. That, all right, I don't necessarily need the circus to the side. I need to be able to get guys in here that are about basketball. Sure. I mean, I'm not stupid. I know you're going to go out and party and probably have a couple beers underage. And I mean, it's just what college kids on every campus do. Again, this is just me speaking. But like with Elijah Arenas, though, that was just not something that Tommy just didn't want to have to deal with that. And that's not a slight towards Gil. That's just Gil is a guy that is always going to be front and center, whatever it is. And you look at Burries, father was a great player at Cal State Bernardino, I think. And, like I said, just a low maintenance type of a situation. Same with Koa. And he's continuing. Same with Carter Bryant. And he's really, I think, found a nice little middle ground there, Ali, where he's finding really talented guys, but also guys that come from families that are going to also entrust their kids into his care.
Yeah, and he's always been a good steward and for these young men, because Kylan Boswell and Carter Bryant, as young people, he brought them along slowly, right? This year had to be a little bit different. We needed Brayden Burries and Peat to be part of the starting five.
Right.
I think it's surprised all of us, Ivan Karchenkov.
No, that's
on anybody's radar, right? So starting three freshmen from the beginning of the year is a little bit different, recipe for Tommy than in years past. But man, he's done a great job of integrating experience with youth, and they've all gotten better.
Right.
Does anybody remember when everybody was worried about Brayden Burries?
I was one of them, man. I was a little nervous about it.
Yeah,
that's why I'm an idiot, though. That's why I'm in the guest room of my house.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we just all got to relax and, trust the track record. So, yeah, I mean, to me, it is Sean Elliott. I am older than you. Khalid Reeves is not talked about enough.
Khalid's the best shooting guard in school history, in my opinion. I think Gil was the most talented. Khalid's the best.
Oh, man, he was so smooth.
Right.
But, the bond that fans have with this program and this university, I mean, we can talk about, me being 7 years old and going with my dad to the games, and he's got his hot tea in the car. I can smell it.
The Pop McHale games, right?
No, not that old, buddy.
It was a joke. It was funny.
Yeah. Yeah. There was no lower level in McHale though when I started. It was just like that second level.
Right.
But it's I mean, there's a strong bonds between for our families, and it's like it's special to us. And what this team represents how we feel about this program since we first became fans.
All right, AZ Bugle, I'm going to get into that. That's a good point. I was going to wait till later in the week, but I do want to get into that. Let's get a couple reads in here. Then I want to remind everybody this is still sports as well. Okay. All right. Yeah. First. All right. Have you ever hung out with Lan Allen before?
Oh yeah, great dude.
Great dude. But guess what? You want to know? He pulled a trick on this entire chat right here. This woman is not real.
Oh.
This is AI. And he tried saying that it was his sister. It is not his sister. And he admitted as much to my mom, and I will never forgive him for it. But I will also tell him the championship package. Now, again, Ali, as you might know, that was my nickname in high school. Championship package. That's where I went. You know, when they saw me coming down the hallway, they said, there's the package. And so, but again, I was lucky to be born like that. But again, 1997, you don't have to go to Burundi. You don't have to go to like Australia or anything and find, you know, like these weird implants, like these George Washington teeth they're going to put in your mouth. Go to Lan Allen. He will give you the best deal in the country. 1997, a championship package, dental implants. Get it now because it's about to be 2026, my friends, after Tuesday. So like I said, get it or after Monday. Check it out. And he only offers necessary treatment. Hey, Ali, you ever got into like the doctor and they remove your ear and they put it into your belly button and say, oh, crap, you got to have surgery? They don't do any of that over there.
Yeah, fortunately not, Mike. But
man, you got a good doctor then. Yeah, you're better. Yeah, imagine like, hey, we got to remove this ear real quick. Yeah. Check it out. Eris Dental, TucsonTeeth.com. Land the man with the master plan. Boom. Check it out. All right, RJ's Frozen Cactus, red hot sports and ice cold beer, baby. 100 craft beers plus $2 deals, pizza, wings, tacos, burgers, and more. No bad seats in the house. This parking lot is so big you can park a jet in this thing. We've literally had people that are pilots in this chat that are talking about being able to do this. But the food is also really, really good, as is the drinks as well. It's not one of these places where you go in and they just throw a bunch of salt on a piece of cardboard and say, hey, here's your sandwich. It is a good product. And again, go in there, start yourself, get some beer as well. It is a good time. Check it out. All right. All right, we got one more here. We got him in the chat. Now, Andre Veras is a big fan of Ali. Andre Veras, I will not endorse Andre Veras. He runs Longview, but he has sent me a couple questions to ask Ali that he wants that I will ask him. But Longview, give Andre a call at 520-325-3456 to learn more and reference the AZ12 podcast for a complimentary financial education session. Check it out. Not sure whether you should be contributing to a Roth, traditional IRA, or if you should just be giving your money to Mike Luke. Andre can probably tell you what the best way to go about doing that is. Give him a call. But again, that is not an endorsement. That is a recommendation. All right. I want people out there, and I put this after the Sweet 16 game against Arkansas. As somebody that's lived a lot of it, Ali, you've lived all of it. Well, I don't mean it like that.
55, guys. 55.
55.
55, just so we're clear.
55 going on 45. I need to say this, though. Whether Arizona wins by 35 or loses by 1, it's okay to be upset. I get all of that. This is still sports. This is not taking your family away from you. This is not affecting your health. And for the people that say, well, it affects my pocketbook, that's on you if you're betting. I can't control that. It is still sports at the end of the day. Don't go destroy things. Don't go and try to drunk text your brother-in-law who you've hated for the last year and tell him you're going to come there and beat him up. Don't do any of that. It's still sports. Ali, go ahead.
I mean, man, this is our community. This is our town. And people that say that, you know, they have some connection with this town that are not making relationships. We're a relationship town. Don't mess with our town. Nobody messes with our town. Yes. So I just say, you know, another thing I love about Arizona basketball, we've had some huge wins at McHale this year. We don't rush the court.
Yes, act like you've been there.
We act like we've been there, and we don't. We're going to win the national championship on Monday. Celebrate with your friends. Enjoy it. Right. But anybody who tries to mess with our town.
Right. This is very simple, Marcus. This is very simple. This is one of the sisters I was referring to. Why can't we party? You can have fun, party all you want. Nobody's saying that. Don't flip cars. Don't destroy things. And don't get into fights. That's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, because also there's nothing like, maybe the lamest thing ever is drunk likes to fight guy, where he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go show you now, dude. Nobody cares. You're talking to me. Nobody cares, dude.
You wanna avoid 2 of the Fs and maybe dive into the third. No fires, no fighting,
Right?
No flipping, and then the 4th F.
Yeah.
I hope you get it.
That's for later on. That's for later on in the evening. Yes, exactly. Focus on that 4th F, not the first 3 Fs. How about that? Chestnut checkers, Ali. I like that. Yeah. Okay, now let's get back into a little bit. Then I want you to then talk a little bit about just kind of the Tommy Lloyd and just what people always say. They're like, oh, what does Tommy Lloyd need? What does he want? What does he this and that? Tommy Lloyd, this isn't something where Tommy Lloyd, and I'm just saying generally, it's not saying, man, I need $4 million more, or I need that. That is not at all what Tommy Lloyd is looking at when he's looking at his long-term future or anything like that. This is not Tommy Lloyd, hey, I want more money in my pockets type situation. That has literally nothing to do with that.
No, man, he wants to have assurances that the resources are available so we can be talking about a team going to the Final Four and winning the national championship every year.
Right.
Period. End of story. Mm-hmm. And he wants to work in an environment where he feels there's support and honesty and integrity.
That's it. He's not asking for a lot. I think there's this misconception about him going around where it's like, because people are always generally like with coaches moves and stuff like that. People are like, oh, they're just leveraging for more money or, whatever the case. That's not how he's wired.
Any of us, you guys on the chat, me and you, if there's something happening in life where an opportunity presents itself, but you want to stay with where you are, you'd be naive and frankly stupid not to leverage it to create what it is that you need.
Right. Exactly. If you're holding the cards at some point, if you don't play those cards, somebody else will play those cards for you, and you probably won't like the result. So right. I heard that analogy the other day and I like it. It took me a second to understand it, but yeah. So, all right. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this Final Four. UConn. Is there a more lucky basketball program or sports entity in the entire world, Ali? They've won 6 national titles in the last 25 years. They are 12-1 in the Final Four. I believe they have 2 championships as an 8 and a 9 seed. I think Arizona beats whoever comes out of that side if they were to play, but I'll tell you one thing, man. I mean, I was just looking at that this morning. That is a very fortunate fan base. I hope they enjoy what they have.
If you're a Connecticut Huskies basketball fan, these things are fleeting. They don't last forever. Right. And so good on you. As much of a maniac as he is, Dan Hurley's a really good coach. As much as I think it's buffoonery, what he did at the end of the game with the headbutting of the ref, part of me thinks it was kind of cool. So I have a lot of mixed emotions, but yeah, man, to be a UConn Husky fan, you guys are living your salad days right now.
What's crazy about it, they have more titles in the last 25 years than Duke has all time. Think about that for a second. Yeah. All right. Now, I also want to put something else in perspective here as well. With though they actually have 6 championships, not 5. I'm going to say this. When it comes to Arizona, people need to understand how impressive it is to get to a Final Four. This is not an easy thing. This is very, very difficult, and it's different. It's different than it was in the past as well. If you get to a Final Four, you're having to go through good teams to get there. And I think what's impressive about what Arizona's done is that Arizona's won all these games by double figures, by double digits. You look at the 97 run, every game was a 1-point game. Yeah. Every game, South Alabama, Charleston, Providence, you name it, Kansas, obviously. This was a little bit different in that, yes, there were some nerve-wracking moments in the second halves of games for sure. But, when the going got tough, got going, Ollie.
That's right. I mean, I've been I'm really big on when people talk about what players may stay next year, what players may go. Anything dealing with next year, I'm like April 7th discussion, right? Yeah. In the same instance, if anybody knows how hard it is to get to the Final Four, it's Arizona Wildcat fans, right? I mean, we don't need to go through the list, and I don't want to.
Right.
But at the same time, none of that matters. Correct. It's completely irrelevant to today and what's happening right now. And so Our focus should be on this team right here, right now. And I am just brimming with confidence because this team has instilled that confidence in me and our fan base. We're a really special, good, great basketball team. Could be the greatest basketball team in Arizona history, and made up of a lot of really good people, from the coaches to the support staff to the players. So, what? Roll the ball out there Saturday. Let's go. Let's see this Michigan-Arizona debate all year. Let's see.
When are you getting in?
Friday, like around 4:00 Indianapolis time.
Is the lovely lady coming with you?
She's going to join me for the national championship game.
Oh, hey, this is when you know that somebody's got confidence. Look at what this man has just said. He's got he booked his Final Four tickets before the season. Now the significant other, the lovely Mrs., is coming in for the championship game. That is saying, I know what's going to happen, and this is what I'm going to do. Ali, you're able to manifest things in an amazing way, and this might be your best manifestation.
The wood is knocked, and we'll see. Yes. I'm like, you're coming for the championship game. We're going to the championship game, and I'm going to watch Saturday with my two younger brothers and my son, who was a manager for the basketball team, both under Sean and Tommy. And the last time I watched the Final Four, my son was in my arms because he was just born.
Wow.
And this is cathartic for us, just like the rest of you. Right. And I cannot wait to celebrate the victory over Michigan with my brothers and my son.
Yep, exactly. Now, I was not able to get reservations for that seafood place. It was all booked out. So I told Brian and Rhino, you got to come hang out with us got to come hang out with us and get some drinks instead. We have a routine where I generally take Brian out for seafood in the most non-seafood places you would think of, like Indianapolis, Nebraska, a bunch of different places. I mean, because let's be honest, when you think of great seafood, you think of the North Platte River, Ollie. Let's be honest.
I do.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't at that point? Yeah. Yes. All right. I want to give a shout out to Tobe Awaka. I worry about Tobe in this game because Tobe is the hardest working player. You know what? I just figured this out. If Justin Spears was a basketball player, he would have been Tobe Awaka, the hardest working man in the gym. You come in there and you know that nobody's going to outwork him. This is where he parts from Spears, though, a little bit. I need you on the court, though. I love your tenacity. It is something that's unique to all of. But if somebody else already got the rebound, no need to dive for it. I need you on the court. That is one of my concerns on this game. I mean, it's a good concern to have because he's so good. I want him to be able to play. Just when in doubt, just don't go for it. How about that?
Look, man, it's
pick up one end of the stick, you pick up the other.
For me, it's, what are the keys to this game? And it's like so simple. Just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah. And Toby's physicality, it's felt
his girth
by the other team. And you could talk to, that question that a lot of guys that come in, they get with, what was your welcome to high-level college basketball moment? Mm-hmm. A lot of guys on our team say, in practice, when Toby Awaka put a screen on me.
Yeah.
Right? It was like, and I was seeing butterflies. Yeah. So, I want him to be physical. The ticky-tack fouls, if you can stay away from it, great, because we're going to need him, and we're going to need Mo, and we're going to need Koa to impose their physicality on Michigan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's been Michigan's advantage. You know what's funny about this? I get all these people that are like, well, what about, Arizona's never faced a front court like Michigan's. Michigan's hasn't faced a front court like Arizona's either. It goes both ways. And when you look at the height, too, I mean, you look at it, Mara, everyone's like, Mara and Krivas from an impact perspective are pretty similar. I mean, they're both 7'3". They're both defensive monsters. Their stats are fairly similar. Koa and Merez Johnson, then you got Tobe coming in after that, and, Yaxelberg. Arizona has probably the one front court in the country that can look at Michigan face to face and say, yeah, bring it.
Yeah. And, I think against Purdue, I think their front court, I know their good guy got into foul trouble, but Clough guy, I mean, he was playing with more energy, with more aggression in the first half. We turned that around in the second half. But, take a look at the box score from the Big Ten championship game between Purdue and Michigan, where Purdue won 80-72. And look at the big guys for Purdue and what they did in that game, scoring 21 and 20 points and really keeping Lindenberg and Mara and Johnson kind of in check. So I don't know how you could, the equivalence of Purdue's front court to our front court necessarily, but maybe that's the wrong narrative. Maybe it is that Michigan hasn't seen a front court like ours.
And here's where I'm going to keep going to. I believe this, and I've asked people about this before, even a few national folks. And when they're asked it, they generally are like, and it takes them a second, and they're like, I don't know the answer to that. I think you could easily make the case that Jaden Bradley and Brayden Burries is the best backcourt in college basketball. And that's just crazy to think about when the front court, rightfully so, gets so much love, obviously, with Koa, with Tobe, with Mo. But I watched a lot of college hoops. You watch a lot of college hoops. There's not a backcourt in the country that I would take over them, period.
Well, let me ask you this question, Mike. This is the hardest part of doing Spears and Ali on ESPN radio.
It must be really, really difficult.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it's the hardest part for you when you're on with somebody or with Sheer.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to talk about one player on this team is impossible.
Right.
Like, it's like, oh, man, this guy's so good and so important to our team. You have to then keep going down the line, right?
Because they all fill that role.
Exactly. And it's so telling as to what makes this team so good is because it is a true team. And I think their superpower, other than being so selfless and other than being such a physical, tough team, they are mentally strong and they have an extreme amount of emotional intelligence. I think that's the superpower of this team.
Well, think about it this way. We've gone through almost an hour of the show, and we haven't even mentioned somebody like ADO. ADO had a really rough stretch, but guess what? And this is what I told everybody. ADO didn't forget how to shoot. He's going through it right now. Shooters, that's just the way it is. You don't shoot 40% your entire career from three-point range, make some of the shots that he's made without being there. ADO came back when they needed him, and I think we're going to look back at this season saying that in a weird way, Koa and Dwayne being out for a little bit was a really, really good thing for Arizona because Koa came back much stronger. And ADO, this was the situation where ADO had to score. The Arizona needed ADO. It wasn't basically a complimentary piece. We need you to get 10, 15 points per game, and ADO says, "Watch this, I'll get you 22 per game."
Yeah, and just let's take it back to when Tommy says something, believe him. Back when ADO was going through it, he said, look, I'm not worried about him. We're going to stick with him, and he's going to be there for us when we need him.
Right.
So, I mean, like, how many more examples do we need that when Tommy says something, believe him?
Yeah, and let's talk about Koa here for a second because I think they really handled that one as well. Great. Let's get a couple more reads in here.
Yeah.
A couple more reads. Get that Ali money in here. What have we got? All right, now we got here. We'll do this. All right, now I don't know. Hey, Cody, we'll do this one. We'll do this one next show. I got a special idea for this one. We'll do that one next show. Okay, now Kopal. Now, hey, have you ever had an elote rib of Ali Farhang?
I have not. I'm not a big mayonnaise guy.
All right, well, you've never tried a Mike Luke elote rib for free. I bet you have you though?
No, I mean that's enticing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, get in line, man. I'll tell you that one. But either way, go to Kopal and mention Mike Luke for a free elote rib, and you can think of Mike Luke while you're consuming that elote rib. I mean, who isn't going to do that? Check it out. Mexican food delivered nationwide at mymexicanmenu.com. Use code AZ12 for 10% off your order. Book your next large party or corporate event with Kopal. After the season, we're going to have a get-together there where we're going to celebrate this year's team. It is going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, all right, check it out. Oh, Dennis Walsh, you're wrong. All right, all right, 88 crime. Hey, Ali. I mean, you're in the law field. There's a lot of people out there that see bad things, but guess what? They don't want to report it. They don't want to get their hands dirty. Call 88 crime, everybody out there. Do it. 882-7463. And it is anonymous as well. 88 crime.
Did they used to have McGruff the crime dog? Was that their mascot? Yeah.
Hey, you want to know something crazy, Ollie? I'm gonna be like, they asked for a professional picture of me to like put on the police or the 88 crime website. Sheriff Mike Luke. Detective Luke. Yeah, Detective Luke here for your services.
That sounds like an amazing sitcom.
Oh yeah. Me as a cop with my ADHD, I'd pull somebody over, and then I'd see somebody else go by me, and I'd be like, "Oh, hey, you stay here. I'll go get that guy." And then I'd be all over the place.
What do you think about coach's rotation in the last game? Wait a minute. Why did I stop you again? All right, have a good day.
Yeah. Hey, don't get me into trouble. That's all I ask. Yeah. Have a good one. 88 crime, baby. Check it out. You see anything bad? Okay. All right. What else we got? All right. I think that's it. All right. Hey, Ollie, I got a question here. You see this front pipe right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. How's your front pipe working, Ollie? Is it working well?
magnificently.
Great. All right, I was going to say that front pipe also might be utilized if they win the championship. I mean, I'm just saying, right?
Ideally.
Ideally, that's all it is. But again, that's not just the kind of front pipes we're also talking about as well. We were talking about Foster Plumbing in this front pipe. Go in there. They can fix anything you need. And again, water heater drain cleaning, sewer inspections, gas, water, sewer repairs, 24/7 service. Here's the best part. If you need your front pipe fixed, call, you can also get 10% off as well with the AZ12 podcast. Call Foster Plumbing. Quality work at a fair rate. Danny Foster is going to be hanging out with us up at what is it, Tom's Watch Party, or what's the name of the bar again?
Man, I get this mixed up all the time. I'm not
Tom's Watch Along or something like that, or like
Tom's Watch Bar.
Tom's Watch Bar. Yeah, Dave Foster is going to be there. We can talk about the front pipe and all of that. Check it out, Foster Plumbing. Okay, now Ollie, I got to ask you something before we get back to hoops here. We got about 15 minutes left. I want to ask you about this. You were very clairvoyant when it came to Arizona football this year. We're obviously a football school as well.
Yep.
A lot of people just think that we're a football school. We're also a basketball school. What are you looking for in year 3 from Brennan? Because year 2 was a resounding success.
Yeah, continuation of last year. And, we've got some curiosities of how things are going to work out with some replacement guys in the secondary. But, the way Brent and Danny Gonzalez and Seth Agee and the rest of the coaching staff, I mean, again, they've instilled a bunch of confidence and trust for me as a fan of they know what they're doing.
Right.
And when Noah Fafita comes out and says, this is the best receiver room that I've ever played with, I believe Noah. I mean, Noah's not a hyperbolic guy. He doesn't just say things to say things. So, we had him at the Sugar Skull game on Sunday. It was good to see him.
Who'd you see? Sorry, I interrupt you. Who'd you see?
Noah Fafita. He came here. Jaden Laura is playing for Vegas.
He's got a nice little vehicle, by the way, Noah Fafita.
He's got a good whip. Good.
It says Juice Country on it or something, or Juice County, excuse me.
Yeah, so, let's see. We got a lot of new moving pieces defensively that we're going to see how they pan out we lost 3 NFL guys in the secondary. So, but I trust Danny to do what he's going to do. And I'm jazzed about this season. I think Arizona football is going to be in the hunt for the Big 12 title this year.
All right, everybody, right now, you're asking for lottery tickets, lottery numbers. This is even better for you. Ollie just told you this. Right now, get in there. That's an easy way to take the over as well. Check it out. Also, T-Burst826. Noah's just sending a message to the NFL Rookie of the Year that he sucks. Yeah, I think there's probably some of that. T-Mac, I didn't need you anyways. Yeah, I made you, T-Mac. Yeah. By the way, is T-Mac getting Rookie of the Year on a team that can't throw the ball is still one of the most amazing things I've ever seen. Like, there were multiple times when I would tune in and Bryce Young would seriously be 7 of 22 for like 39 yards, and all 39 of them went to T-Mac and the 1 touchdown. It really was remarkable what he did on a team that can't pass.
It was pretty incredible. And, they were right in it with the Rams in the first round of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And T-Mac was making his presence felt. So he's all this, like pundits and the word putts are very close.
Yes.
And I continue to be astounded by some people get paid to talk about sports and they actually watch sports. And then some people just get paid to talk. Well, and it's just crazy that you're like, here's T-Mac's going to be a very good receiver in the NFL. You're not watching, you don't know the game of football.
My concern with that too is that, and I feel very comfortable saying this, is that some of the people saying that and talking about T-Max off the field or not working hard, they never talk to the coaches here, the current coaching staff. I can tell you, I mean, I'm sure you know that. I can tell you that for a fact. So if you're just taking somebody else's word or whatever, instead of watching the guy, put it on for 2 minutes. You can see. I also want to give you credit on something else as well. Did you see when you first saw Bijan Robinson? I know you got an eye for talent. I mean, I remember I was talking with Benet about this, and he's like, we all knew. But did you think that he would be the best running back in the world at some point?
I mean, it took some time, right? I mean, by his junior year, I'm like, kids are in the handshake line taking pictures and asking for autographs because, hey, I can't wait to play you in Madden. I'm like, wow.
Right.
But, of all the years I've coached, Pop Warner to high school, the look of disbelief after Bijan did something that we would have with each other, it was incredible. Yeah. He was NFL bound. He's actually, what he's done even beyond that is just incredible, but it doesn't surprise me.
Well, and that's what everybody that knows him, because I don't know him like you and Justin know him, obviously, or anything like that. I've talked with him once or twice, but he doesn't know me from the man in the moon. But everybody that I've talked to about him just said, I know you hear the phrase all the time. They're like literally too good to be true as a person. And sometimes and he said, no, this person literally is too good. And I do know, I've known Cleo for a long time, refereeing and, stuff like that. So Cleo, obviously, relative, he was raised right. He does everything the right way. And I like I said, I just, when I see what he does, when I see that he's probably the best running back in the NFL, and if he's not, he's certainly in that top 2 to 3.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I mean, you look at his numbers were better than anybody else's in the league this year. I mean, he's something else, man. And he does it. It's always the thing too. Get the touchdown, Larry Fitzgerald thing, hand the ball to the ref, point up to the sky, and then go from there. I mean, he's literally too good to be true.
I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. Bijan Robinson's a better person than he is a football player.
Which is insane to say. It's like saying that somebody that's the best in their profession is still a better person. So that's yeah, that's where I'm at. I wanted to ask you about that because I mean, guy was first team All Pro this year, so that was obviously a thing. Okay,
total unicorn, man, total unicorn.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's funny. I bet you get this too. I get people from time to time that'll say, "Hey, you should come check out my son. I think that he's a high Division I player or whatever." And I've gotten to the point now when somebody tells me that, and I said, "I'll." If it comes to that point, I'll come check them out. But in Tucson, better than when when somebody's totally different. When they look different. They don't look like Kadeem was the same way. Now, again, Kadeem obviously didn't have the pro career that Bijan did. Kadeem was the same way, though. You're like, this guy does not belong here. This guy belongs at Alabama. This guy belongs somewhere else. They're just totally different.
Just the way they move. You just can tell. I mean, and fortunately, I got to coach with Dennis for a number of years, and I got to watch a lot of those guys. I get to coach a lot of those guys. Yeah. And there's nothing better, I'll just tell you, than when I see Bijan or Lathan or any of the guys that I was fortunate enough to be around during the 8 years at South Point, when they are like, "Coach," I mean, being called coach by Bijan, it's the best. It's the best feeling ever.
Did you
very grateful.
You just mentioned Lathan Ransom. Did you see him becoming the player at Ohio State that he became? And then, I mean, let's be honest, he's going to probably be a 7, 8, 9 year NFL starter in the secondary. Did you see him being that?
Oh, this is where I got to give credit to another one of my guys, Rocco Benet, when Lathan was a freshman, grabbed me by the shoulder and said, "Look at that kid right there." I'm like, "Yeah, he's going to be in the NFL." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then sophomore, junior, okay, I see what you're seeing, but that was all Rocco Benet.
Yeah. Okay. So you didn't necessarily see that one the way you were able to see Bijan.
I mean, no. Bijan would look like he's jogging and run past people.
And he's
still a freshman.
And he still does that in the NFL, which is the craziest thing.
Yeah.
Okay. We got prediction time coming up here. Let's get the rest of the reads in, and then we're going to get to prediction time. Again, you're going to want your money, take it out. All right. Hey, Ali, do you have air conditioning?
I do. Thank goodness.
All right, well, good. There are some people that we know in this chat that do not have air conditioning. Comfort X HVAC says, don't be that person. It's about to get hot out here. Trusted by homeowners and business. And you know that miserable guy, Anthony Gimino, who never says a nice thing about anybody and literally nobody can stand being around? You know that guy. Yeah.
The sarcastic, bad version of Anthony Gimino, yes.
Just an awful person. I mean, but no, not Ollie. Well, Ollie too. Anthony's literally the nicest person I've ever come across. But they saved Anthony Gimino $2,000. And look at this picture of Anthony Gimino right here. Have you ever seen Anthony Gimino happier than this picture? All right, Cody, you can put that picture up there. I should have told you. Let's see here. Look at this. This is Anthony Gimino in the flesh. Look at that. That could be you, everybody. That could be you. All right. Get with Comfort X HVAC. Check it out. They're taking off. I saw one of their vehicles the other day. Check it out. Boom. Comfort X HVAC. All right. Now, we had a bet going with people that if you're going to do the static in this, I don't believe that Ali will do this, but this is something we do. Welcome to the Rock. Ali, will you give us some static? Just like a half second of static.
Yeah. There you go.
All right, we did it, everybody. We did it, Ali. I told you Ali would do it. All right, 2 convenient locations, Tucson plus Green Valley. That was fire, as the kids would say. 50 plus locally sourced landscaping materials. East of Benson, Sierra Vista, west of Marana, south to Nogales, north to Oracle. Man, that was a banger right there, as the kids would say. Check it out. Now, there's also some people that believe that Green Valley Decorative Rock is only in Green Valley. We have them on the run, Ali. Those people have basically been pushed into a corner. If you see anybody, tell them, though, that is also in Tucson if they are pushing that scurrilous lie about Green Valley Decorative Rock. We will not let it stand. Not on my watch. Not going to do it.
Maybe they could do some red and blue decorative rock after we win the national championship.
That's actually a really good idea. That is I hadn't even thought about that. That's a great idea. Okay. Now, let's see here. All right. Prediction. All right. Let's see here. Praise the Lloyd t-shirts. Get these shirts right now. They're going like hotcakes. Get these things right now. Link is in there. Check it out. You guys will thank me later. Okay. Now, Ali, prediction time, my friend. Prediction time. I would assume you are backing the A.
Yes. 100% confident. We're going to get this done. Arizona 92, Michigan 81.
All right. I like it. I'm going Arizona 85, Michigan 76. We both like Arizona in kind of that 9 to 11 point roll, and we just keep that thing going. All right. Before we sign off here, though, I wanted you to just talk a little bit more, just, kind of rehash, though, what Tommy Lloyd means to this school, what he means to the community for people that are, that missed the beginning, just everything about it.
Yeah, man. I mean, he means so much to our community that transcends sports and even the university. I mean, he's interwoven in the fabric of our community in Tucson. He's done that purposefully and intentionally and genuinely. And, the thing that my video that went viral, I don't like talking about anybody.
That's why it hits so hard, because that's not you.
No, I mean, I want everybody that works for University of Arizona to be great at what they do and be great working with other people, because that makes the university great. I want you to know I love the University of Arizona. So anything I said is out of love. I'm not a guy that passes information. I'm not a gossiper. A lot of people have called me and emailed me. I mean, and I'm going to get into that in a second. But let me just tell you that Tommy Lloyd means so much to our community and is the face of Arizona athletics and the University of Arizona as a whole, that if there is an impediment to him staying at the University of Arizona, and if that impediment is resources to keep our team at the highest level, he doesn't like the way the nets are at McHale, or he can't work with somebody in the athletic department and he can't have a productive relationship with them, then that impediment, with no disrespect, needs to be removed. That's just the way it is. And I will say the comments, the calls from people all around athletics, donors, there's been nobody saying anything contrary to what I've said. And to me, the fact that they're not speaking on behalf of, I got this wrong,
right,
and this person does not need to be removed from their position, is really telling to me.
I'm going to say this about when it comes to Tommy Lloyd, and this is kind of piggyback on your point. Whatever he needs, make it happen. That is, I don't know that I've ever said that. Maybe about Lute Olson back in the day. I don't know. But whatever he needs to have to be here for the next 20, 25 years, just let it happen. I mean, because here's the other thing about Tommy. I believe that you behave yourself into something, you behave well out of it. Tommy has 100% punch. Tommy has done more than we could have ever imagined when Dave hired him. That he's embraced the community. We want him here. What's weird about it too? He feels, and again, this is not a slight to Sean, because Sean did great things here, made it a 2-person school. Tommy feels kind of like that the Lloyd Olsen type, though, in that just how they go about things, how their style of play, just a lot of. He's perfect for this community. We need whatever needs to happen, make it happen for him. Period.
I will say, I love Lloyd Olsen. Some of my best memories was getting to know Lloyd, Sean Miller. We've never had a coach that is so engaged with our community, out and about, and loves meeting people and creating genuine, real relationships. This has never happened before. We talk about Bijan as a unicorn, and he certainly is.
Yeah.
Tommy Lloyd is a unicorn.
Right.
And so, whatever the situation may be, our president needs to take decisive action. It would be great to announce tomorrow that Tommy Lloyd is going to be staying at the University of Arizona and that there's been a contract extension. I hope that comes out tomorrow, and then anything else that needs to transpire based on what he needs.
You get that figured out.
That can happen later.
Right, exactly. The other thing I will say about Tommy is, and I know this might have bothered some folks, but I thought it was absolutely awesome. I thought there was nothing cooler than when Justin took the picture of Tommy having a drink at, it wasn't like he was drunk or anything like that. He was having a drink at Gentle Ben's, and, he was having Mix Master Mike and all that. I thought it was one of the coolest things I've ever seen from a basketball coach. And I thought it was the perfect type of, to be honest with you, because Tommy is a normal guy. Tommy's just, I thought it was a great reflection on the program. Hey, you come here, we're going to coach you, but again, we're also going to teach you to be a man, and we're also going to let you have some fun, and I thought it was perfect. And there's no better way I can put it than what that was. And no matter what happens, that there was certainly nothing to apologize there for. I'll say that.
No, he's created a great support system around him of some people here in town. And so we all have a great BS meter in Tucson. If you're not a genuine person and you're not really about Tucson and our community beyond whatever you may be doing. Right. And that BS detector, there's not even a ping with Tommy. Everything he does is with integrity, with class, and sincerely.
Yep, it's intentional, as you put it. Very, very good. Yes. All right, everybody, go to Little Caesars, by the way. 15% off any online order. Enter promo code SAVE15. Code LCFREECC. Free crazy combo with a pizza purchase. All right, Ali, you said you're getting out. You said you're getting out there. What did you say, Thursday or Friday at 4?
Friday. My flight's 7 a.m. Friday morning. I get there, I think, through Phoenix, at 3:30, 4 o'clock. Put my bags away, meet you at Tom's Watch House, Hut House, whatever it is. Let's get that out on social. Let's have a good time together Friday night, and let's prepare to take care of business Saturday. And I love it that you get fans from the other team listening to you. I think that's actually a compliment to you.
Well, we're gonna have
whoever the Michigan guy was. We're not arrogant. We're confident. This team has instilled confidence in us. And we have a lot of respect for your Michigan Wolverines. It's a really good team.
We've talked about this before on the show. I think Matt Painter takes a backseat to about nobody in college basketball as a coach. I mean, what he totally maximizes this. What he did. All respect in the world for Purdue. There's just sometimes, and again, we can be frank here. There's been a lot of years where Purdue's had a better basketball team than Arizona. Those Zach Edey years, you were better. We were better this year. It was. It's cyclical, it'll come back around. All right. But Ali, you are a treasure. Can't wait to see you. By the way, real quick, do we think that Justin Spears is going to let his hair down a little bit or is he going to be working the whole time? Because we do know that he's the hardest working man in the industry. What do we think?
We are not going to let him not have a good time. So Friday, we're going to get, maybe a couple of martinis in him, of martinis in him.
Yes.
And then let Justin's that ginger hair flow a little bit.
Yeah, we'll let it flow. And again, we get Bruce in there as well. I mean, it's just going to be, man, we're going to have the Star's going to have this entire place roped off. It's going to be awesome. So
yeah, they might, the fire marshal might come and close it off with their so many people.
This is great. T-Burns 826 Spears currently posting videos from the send-off. Yep, that's what he does, man. I want to give Justin a shout out here for a second. And Justin is what people think I'm joking when I say this. This dude doesn't take time off. I can't even tell. Like, this guy will be on vacation and he's tweeting out something about Arizona football. And it's like, man, dude, enjoy yourself for a little while. The fact that this guy is the Arizona football beat writer, which is absolutely great. There's no better person that could have possibly been put in that. The fact that he's out there with football, he's going to the Final Four. We talk about embracing the community. Justin Spears definitely embraces the community, Ali.
We had a huge breakthrough on the show this week, which is, Justin always says I'm not a fan. I've got to be objective, and I play everything straight down the line. And I'm like, Justin, let me ask you a question. Does it show more integrity to say I grew up in Tucson, I was a huge Arizona sports fan, basketball, football, all the sports, special moments with my father. Mm-hmm. And I'm still I'm a reporter and I try to be objective, but I can't tell you with all good conscience that I'm not a fan of Arizona because I grew up with them. Or does it show more integrity to lie about it like you have the last 5 years?
Well,
Ali, you're right. You're right.
And that's why I honestly love doing what I'm able to do now, because everybody has, if you've grown up rooting for Arizona. Now, I will say this. I don't think Bruce Pascoe, and I say this all lovingly, I don't think Bruce cares if Arizona wins or loses. Bruce is there to do his job. I don't think he cares. And that's certainly a testament to Bruce. But I am so tired of this outdated 1961 textbook that says that you can't root for the team you cover. Says who?
Yeah.
Like, why? Because like some guy back when when segregation was still totally acceptable said you can't root for the team. I will never understand that. Now, if you want to be objective, cool. But I will never understand the whole that you can't root for the team you cover. That makes no sense to me. It never will.
If you're writing a story, be objective, be factual, fine. But, we used to go to the bathroom outside too. And that's outdated as well.
Yeah. So that whole thing. Thank you, Ali. I very much appreciate you confirming my opinion on that one. All right, everybody. I will no show tomorrow. I will be traveling. Ali will be traveling the next day. Everybody that's up there, it's going to be a blast to go in there. And it is, like I said, I can't thank you enough. Ali, you are the man. And I say this for, I think, basically the entire community. We appreciate everything you've done, all of the spotlight that you put. The one you're not scared, when it's time to roll, Ollie's going to roll, and Ollie's going to do his thing, and we got to give you a lot of credit on that, man. You're unique. You're Tucson through and through. That's why so many people follow your lead.
No, thanks, man. I love Tucson. I love the university. It's all out of love, not pettiness. Mm-hmm. I love you, Mike. Love everybody that was listening in, and I just want to end with BTFD.
Just, can I get a back the A as well?
Back the A, baby. Let's back the A.
Back the A, baby. All right. Trust in Tommy, Tit, and Ollie. You are the man. We will see you. I'll see you Friday, Ollie. Everybody in there. Hope to see you up there as well. TTFN, ta-ta for now.